The Appalachian Mountains, stretching in a jagged spine across America's eastern frontier, have always been a land apart. Thick mists cling to the ridges. Time seems slower, heavier. Here the old ways never died, and the dark things whispered about in the valleys have never been fully forgotten. Among the most unsettling tales are those of the mountain witches, figures who moved through the hollers like smoke, both feared and sought out. The witches of Appalachia weren't a single kind. They wore many faces, some benign, others drenched in malice. The evil witches were the most feared. Aligned with forces darker than night, they cursed crops, blighted cattle, and sowed sickness with nothing more than a muttered word or a bundle of twigs tied the wrong way. It was said that if your dog howled at nothing, if your child wasted away despite every prayer, a witch had turned her eye on you. The only defense? The witch doctor, a conjure man or woman who carried old secrets, able to break a hex with chants, talismans, and rituals so old no one remembered their origins. But not all witches were bent on harm. There were the medicine witches, the herb women who knew the secret language of roots and bark. They could cure a fever with a tea brewed from the hidden plants of the forest floor, or stop a raging nosebleed by speaking a Bible verse backwards. People sought them out in desperation, wary but grateful, and paid with eggs, milk, or sometimes small and whispered promises. Even stranger were the water witches. These were dowsers, able to find underground springs with only a forked twig or bent wire in their hands. In isolated hollers where water meant survival, these witches held a kind of sacred power. They would walk the land, eyes half-lidded, the twig jerking violently when water was near. Some said they called on something deeper than science, that the earth spoke to them, or that darker things guided their hands. Religion ran deep in the mountains, but faith and fear often walked hand in hand. Church pews were filled every Sunday, but so too were pockets filled with witch balls, silver dimes, and scraps of written scripture folded tight to ward off the unseen. A whispered prayer might be followed by a whispered warning. Don't cross old Martha. Don't look Johnny Lee's girl in the eye too long. Don't walk the mountain path after midnight. The people spoke of sights that froze the blood. Strange lights weaving between the trees, figures seen only from the corner of the eye, voices calling from empty woods. Warnings were passed down like heirlooms. Never accept food from a stranger. Never answer if you're called from the darkness. Never ever follow the sound of crying into the woods. Skeptics, outsiders, call these stories superstition. The old-timers just shake their heads. They know what they've seen. They know the hills hold memories longer than men. To this day, the Appalachian Mountains remain a place where the lines blur. Fact and folklore bleed into one another like fog rolling down a mountainside. Whispers of the mountain witches still echo in the hollers. A chilling reminder that in some places the old powers never left.